Personally, I think AI has a tendency to improve the life and the standard of living of the society. Hi, my name is Pai. I was a student at New York University, Abu Dhabi, and I specialize in computer engineering, mainly in the drone and the haptics. And now I'm working as a research engineer at the same university. So I started this project when I was a student at NYU in Abu Dhabi. And one of the main reasons is that in the UAE, when we do the building crack inspection or just anything which involves the high-rise buildings in general. So in the traditional crack inspection, you have the supervisor and you have some of the workers who climb up the tall buildings with the ropes on their waist, and eventually they will go across all the floors and then they check with their eyes. They will mark down where the cracks are and then they will report back. And that is an extremely unsafe way to do things. So at the time, I was trying to learn artificial intelligence by myself as a hobby, and I was also I happened to be working with the drones at the time. So what I was trying to do is, just for fun, I was trying to train the drone's camera to detect the objects. So the way the software works is that there are two parts of the software. One is you use an actual drone. The drone has a camera, and this drone is going to fly around the skyscraper or any high-rise or tall buildings, and it's going to scan, it's going to take a lot of the images, and eventually once we capture the images, we are going to take the images out of the drone and we put the images into our custom written software, which is a step 2. So let's say that we have these images taken from the drone, which are the crack images. We have some complicated images and this is the actual wall we tested in the lab. Let's say we have some more complicated images and more simpler images. So what you do is you have our software, we call it Abysses, and we choose an image folder, and let's say I'm going to choose a crack folder, and we just choose some of the parameters, click Run Crack Analysis. And eventually you can see that there's a new folder automatically created, and we can view the output. So if we view the output, we can see the detection. So if you look into the folder, what we are going to see, not here, what we are going to see is the walls with the cracks automatically detected. So the software detects the shape using AI, and it's going to approximate the length of the cracks and where they are. So yes, so this was the more simpler shape. We can see it detects a crack with 57% accuracy, 72% accuracy, and so on. And here, this is the test from the lab. Here we can see that it correctly identifies the diagonal cracks with 98% accuracy, and so on. And eventually what the building managers can do is that they can also generate a report. And here we have a very well-written report with the name of the images, when they are taken, and what type of the cracks are inside, and so on. And if you know the size of the images, you can also get the size of the length of the cracks, and so on.
My name is Borja García de Soto. I'm an associate professor of civil and urban engineering at New York University, Abu Dhabi. And unfortunately, construction is one of the highest industries with a number of fatalities. So technology is a great example of how this could be mitigated. We can move away humans from these dangerous conditions. We can have them safely operating the drones from the ground. I think the UAE is a special case, right? Because you have a lot of construction happening and the ability to really integrate all these new technologies. But now we're seeing a change, and we're seeing that construction companies are realizing of the value of these new technologies.
Personally, I think AI has the tendency to improve the life and the standard of living of the society. The humans and the AI should cooperate to have a more safe and workable, productive workflows. There is going to be a transition time where everyone has to learn. So be prepared for that, be patient, be kind, and we'll make good use of this tool altogether.